Welcome back to the garage. So it's been a while since our last video. Been lazy. Yeah, no excuses really. So I thought let's get back to it with a simple project really. You probably know from the thumbnail. We're gonna have a little Sunday tinker, and so we're gonna look at making a basic brake cooling kit for the M4. Got this brake cooling kit here. It's a piece of 3mm aluminium with a bit of pipe. Well done. Made these, well, welded these together for a mate and managed to get a set. So, yeah, they look alright, but I think they're a little bit overkill, and I'm not convinced this is the best spot for the cooler to come in at. So, what we're going to do is, where the caliper mounts to the hub, there's a nice gap where we could feed air into, and then that goes straight into the centre of the disc. So what I've got here is I've got a couple of pieces of pipe, bit of aluminium, and yeah, today we're gonna have a go at making the adapter for this. So first thing first, let's go jump up to the computer. So we'll model out some parts we need to cut into this plate to weld that into there, that into there, a couple of bolt holes, and we'll see how this plays out. Might be useless, might be good, but I do think this is a little bit overkill. I may make some of these, but who knows? We'll see how that plays out. So let's go up to the computer. So for this project, we're going to use Fusion 360. We're going to use it for the modelling, design work, and also the CAM G-code work. So the first thing we will do is we'll create a construction line along the x-axis. This will just give us a place to pin our geometry to, and that'll keep it in line. So then we're going to create a 51mm circle. So this circle is going to be the hole that we create for the pipe to go into. Create an offset against that circle of 5mm. This will just give us the outside, 5mm around the pipe where we can weld it and just a bit of bracing. Then along the x-axis we'll create another circle of 12.5mm. This will be the hole for the bolt to go through, and that's going to be 61mm away from the centre point as we measured from the car. It's a 122mm centre to centre on the holes, so if we just half that we can get half of it. Then we'll just create a bit more geometry, so we'll create an offset of the 12.5mm hole, create some lines out to the edges, and we'll just make them coincidental to the circles just so we get a nice smooth transition from the lines. So as you can see, we're only creating half of the circle here because Fusion allows us to create a mirror around a line, point, whatever we want. And so what we've done is we've just created a line downwards from the centre point of construction geometry. And then what we'll do is we'll use the mirror tool to mirror everything on the left side over to the right. So now you can see we've defined our sketch. This is what we want to make. This kind of looks like a flange or an exhaust part. What we'll do here is we're going to extrude that up 1.5mm. That's the size of stock that I've got for this, and yeah, it's going to be the first one we'll try. If it's not strong enough, we may go up to 3mm, but I think that'll be nice, and it'll keep full thread engagement on the bolt as well. So just for this first attempt, there's two sides of the car. Let's make two. We've got plenty of stock, we've got plenty of material, and why not? It's not expensive stock. So we'll just move that back up to the origin, and then we'll just create a copy of that body. So we've got our two flanges now. We can move over into the manufacturing tab in Fusion 360. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our stock.
this is where we'll get our origin from. So the origin of our stock that we're going to use is going to be the center. So we've got that set up already. That is kind of the default. For some projects I will use the sides of the stock, but this is going to work for this setup. So what we're going to do is go in, change the stock offset. This will just allow us to get to the size of the stock that we're using. We'll go in and we'll also select our models because they're not selected automatically for some reason in this setup. So now we've defined our stock. We're going to use a 2D adaptive. Oh no, we're not. We're going to use a 2D pocket on this. So all we're going to do is we're going to go in and select the bottom edges of all the pockets. This will allow us to use the 2mm mill, and it will mean that we don't end up cutting out and then jamming. So we could use a contour here, but the adaptive pocket will just mill out the material, and yeah, it'll just turn into swarf instead of turning into a plug. That could cause issues with jamming going forward in the machining process. So we'll select the 2mm end mill here. So it's a 2mm 6mm flute length single flute end mill, and then all we're going to do now is create a contour cut. This will just go round the outside of the workpieces. We'll also use tabs here as well, just in case they get loose. We don't want them to jam up. So yeah, we'll set that up. Go ahead and make sure we've got the correct end mill selected, and then we'll enable the tabs. So now we can just have a look at each of the programs and see. If we look there, now we've noticed that we haven't gone all the way down in them adaptive clearing cuts. So what we're going to do is we'll go in and then we'll just go to one of the tabs and turn off the stock to leave setting. That'll just mean that it'll just mill out everything instead of leaving a small amount at the bottom. I think it's like half a mil. Yeah, that's not needed here. You can see now we've got the program's good, and we can post that and open it up on the laptop. So let's get back into the garage.
So now we've got them modelled out, what we're going to do is we're going to get these, going to put them into the CNC router. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bolt this straight into the table. I was going to stick this down with some painter's tape, but I'm not convinced if there's enough on here. Maybe we'll try it. We'll try it. Marrying our fingers on this one. We haven't had an accident in a while. We don't need one today. We might have enough here, so what we'll do is we'll go put the same amount of tape down on the CNC, and then just use some super glue, some activator, glue that sucker down, and see if it holds. If it doesn't hold, we'll worry about that at a later time, won't we? So we've got the tape laid down, got the tape on the back side of the aluminium sheet. What we're going to do is just stick that pretty much there. What I've also done is you can see the square. So what I've done is you can see across here, that's the centre of the workpiece. So when we come to it, we'll set the origin there, like we did in the CAM software at Fusion 360, and then we can just crack on. So let's get this sucker up. So all we're going to do is just squeeze super glue onto here. Off a good look. That's super glue on. We'll just spray some activator down on here. That'll just make it set quicker. I can't see. And then what we'll do is just stick the drill on there. We'll come back once it's dry. So this is the end mill we're going to use. Oh, can't see. So what it is, it's a 2mm diameter. You see, finger. One flue. It's got 4mm depth of cut, I think, on it. So I'll get that loaded up now. Right, so let's set this to go. See what happens. So there we go. Let me take them off and we'll have a nosy. So there we go. Got them off. Look good. A little bit of swarf that just needs a little tidy up, but look nice, crisp. So next job, get that there. They're a bit undersized by half a mil, which is a bit of a pain in the butt really. So just should have been 51. I don't know if I've messed up in the software somewhere, to be honest, it's potential. But as you can see, that's 50, and the pipe is 50.0, no, 50.8. So what I'll do is just bang these in there, just take a smidge, well, just put a little chamfer on the edge to be honest, press them in, then we can get on with welding. So back from the lathe now, what I've done is I've just put a small lip on there, so now that fits in there lovely now. Just run a nice weld on there now. Well, if we can weld, but you know, we'll give it a whirl, see what's happening really. Oh, that bend's easy. Maybe we need some thicker metal for that. I've got some 3mm, so worst case, we can run this again with 3mm and see what happens. So there we go. The part welded up, just enough for us to test on the ones that do properly. Probably make, we'll weld all the way around, but don't affect how they work. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll put together some brake ducts that mount on the low control arms. So thanks for watching. I know it was a short one, but it is what it is.